Good morning, Prince George's County. Good morning, National Harbor, and welcome to the summer kickoff with the Prince George's County Memorial Library System, Prince George's County Government, Washington Nationals, County Health Department, Office of Emergency Management, and most importantly, County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, who is here with us to kick off summer learning, and very special guest who is up here to help kick things off. It is Screech. Everyone, Screech, Screech, Screech. Screech has been living up in the 400 section of Nationals Park since March because of social distancing, but the stadium is back to full capacity. We are grateful to the Washington Nationals for being the presenting sponsor of Summer at Your Library for the second year. They are wonderful champions of Prince George's County, and you're going to hear a bit more in just a moment about all of the great work that the Washington Nationals are doing for our community. We'd also love to give a shout out to the PGCMLS Foundation, which is the nonprofit charitable arm of the library. The foundation is responsible for this partnership with the Washington Nationals and is here to work with all of you to make sure that we have the strongest library system possible for decades and generations to come. And at the county library, we transform lives one interaction at a time, whether it is making sure that you have that one book that you didn't know that you need to help transform your life and inspire you to achieve, to succeed, to get creative, to code, which is a very creative thing, to become a scientist, to become an astronaut. We've got everything for everyone at the county library system, and it is 100% free. We are opening our doors for full browsing on Monday, June 14th at 10 a.m. for all of you, which is really great. 17 branches, including the return of the Mount Rainier branch, which has been closed since the beginning of the pandemic. So we're excited. We're getting back to life here. And before we get started with our program, Screech, do you have anything to say? That was a go Nats, wasn't it? Yeah, very good. Thank you, Screech. So Screech is on his way to the ballpark. He's got a doubleheader today, so he's going to have a long day. We're all going to make sure that he can get a festive beverage at Rosa Mexicano later tonight, late night at National Harbor. There's lots of fun stuff to do here. Thank you again to our host at National Harbor. And while we're here today, until the early afternoon, you're going to have an opportunity to get a COVID-19 vaccine from our friends at the Health Department and the Office of Emergency Management. You can see the wonderful colleagues back here with the white tents. They are between us and the Nationals team store, which is also open and available for you today. The Nats have a flagship store. Well, the flagship store is at the stadium, but this is their flagship store in Prince George's County, and we're the only community outside of D.C. to have one of their stores. So super awesome. Check them out. Support the Nats. And with the COVID vaccines, you can get either a Johnson & Johnson, which is a one and done for ages 18 plus, or a Pfizer vaccine, which is a 2-dose. You get one today, another one in 3 weeks, and 2 weeks later, you're good to travel and be around folks in group settings. So check that out, 100% free to you, and thank you to the county for making that possible and bringing the vaccines to the people, which is a really big deal. So at this moment, I'm going to turn things over to our very, very, very special guest. Her name is County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, and she is responsible for keeping us safe and keeping us happy and helping us thrive as a community. We are so Prince George's proud to live here and to work here, and we appreciate the County Executive coming to kick off summer with us today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is so great to see all of you all. I want to thank you for coming out this morning. And I also want to welcome all of you to our Prince George's County Memorial Library System's Tales and Tales Summer Kickoff here at the beautiful National Harbor. I'm so grateful for the library system. Roberta Phillips is here. She and her team do an amazing job. And I also want to say that I'm very grateful for the partnership that we share with the Washington Nationals team. I want to extend my gratitude to the Nats for this partnership that they have had with our Memorial Library System. The National support programs, in case you don't know, that enrich our residents. And I'm so thankful for their support here today and for all that they do for Prince Georgians. Programs like the Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. I don't know how many of you have heard about this program, but it is a top-notch program that provides our young people an opportunity to learn the game of baseball from some of the very best players in the world. The Nationals also support lots of programs, and this is one of the examples of it. This summer kickoff is a special opportunity for all of us to come together and to get excited. And I see all of these young people here, the kids who are here, who I know are excited about the Summer at Your Library program. I want to encourage Prince Georgians, however, of all ages, to participate in our programs this summer because it is never a bad time to learn something new. During summer at your library, I want the kids to know, as well as the adults, something very exciting, and that is that you can earn badges and prizes simply by reading, using the library's online resources, or watching a Washington Nationals game on television at the ballpark, or attending library events. And so those who complete the program will be eligible to receive free tickets to Nationals games. As courtesy, and these are courtesy of the team while supplies last. And so you've heard it. This is a once in a lifetime offer. You can tell everybody that all you have to do is read to earn the opportunity to get free national game tickets and to attend library events. Now, I'm looking at all the kids here today, and I want to make sure that there is never a dull moment for all of you. And that's why the library system, and we work very hard on this, is offering free virtual summer camps focused on technology and creativity, as well as countless resources to learn new skills and to earn certifications. So please take advantage of all of these opportunities. And these offerings from the library are just a small part of the many, many exciting programs that are engaging and educational this summer that we have planned for our young people. And for those who are a little older, some of our kids who are 12 to 18 years old, I want everyone to know that we also have put together a program called the Also Brooks Summer Passport Program. This program is a very important program as well. That offers a number of day and evening events starting this month, and those events will go all the way through August. Those programs will provide kids a lot of opportunities to have fun, and registration begins shortly after school concludes here in the county. So that registration will open on June 21st. So you all take down that date, and please let all who need to know about it that on the 21st, they can register. We'll have basketball tournaments. We'll have career opportunities, and there will even be a back-to-school scavenger hunt. So we want you all to be aware of that. So beginning June 21st, we want you to mark your calendar and to start registering for the many, many programs that we have for our kids. So once again, I want to thank all of you all for coming out today to help us kick off the summers, the Prince George's County Memorial Library System Tales and Tales Summer Kickoff. And after the program, please also be sure to visit the table. We have a Prince George's County Memorial Library table that is here as well, and pick up some activity bags and some giveaways. We've been seeing some people already stop by. The table is right over here to my right, and the programs will be a great way, again, to have fun. So if you haven't already, I also want to urge anyone who has not had an opportunity to be protected from COVID-19 to do so today. We have a table set up right here in the back. You'll see that opportunity is here. I want to thank our county health department. Can you help me give them a round of applause, please? They have done a truly amazing job. Have been with us throughout this pandemic, and I want to thank them for being out here today, and again for all that they have done to help Prince George's County make it through this global pandemic. So those vaccinations are available for individuals who are 12 years old and older, so don't leave here today without getting your shot. There was a gentleman and his family, let's see, he's out here, told me he was a little frightened, but he came on out with his wife and got his shot and said it's not such a bad thing at all. So let everyone know, please, to get that. So now let's hear it for our Memorial Library Systems and the Washington Nationals, please, for making this possible. Can you give them a round of applause? And I'm excited for Washington National players Josh Harrison, who is going to join us virtually. You're going to be able to see him in a moment. He's joining us virtually for story time. So thank you all again so much for coming out today. I hope that you all have a truly amazing summer. To all of our children who are here, I know there will be a question and answer period in a moment where we'll have a chance to talk more about it. But what I can tell you is that reading opens up the whole world to you. It really is. It's such a treat to be able to read. And so I applaud you for being here today. I also really just applaud your parents for doing such a wonderful thing and bringing you out today. So I'll hand the program over again, and thank you all so much for being here.
How about a round of applause for County Executive Angela Alsor-Brooks? So much for being here to support this. You're going to see a bit more of her in a moment. Before we get started with our story time, I would love to ask all of you to give a big warm round of applause and welcome to Alex Robbins, who's the Director of Community Relations for the Washington Nationals back here in the white polo shirt. He's helped make this event possible. He is one-man band at the Nationals, championing all of us and making sure that the organization and everyone here in Prince George's County can connect at the human level and make sure that we can enjoy some baseball together, but also enjoy learning and reading. So thank you, Alex, for making this possible. Who has been to a Nationals game before? Can I see a show of hands? That's pretty awesome. Who's been to one of our county libraries before? Even more of you, maybe. That's pretty awesome too. So we want to make sure that you go to both places. Children are our favorite customers at the libraries because we just love seeing the joy on all of your faces when you come in and learn cool stuff. And we've got really cool features at different libraries, like at our Laurel branch, we've got dinosaurs everywhere and fossils. At our Oxon Hill branch, we focus on history and Black culture. And we have some amazing staff here from the Oxon Hill Branch Library, which is the closest library to this spot right here for National Harbor. And our Oxon Hill Branch Library team is going to be here at National Harbor this summer every 2 weeks, Thursday morning at 10:30. For story time and children's programs, which is pretty awesome. So come on down this summer, and all of those programs count towards Summer at Your Library, which means free Nationals tickets. So stay connected. For today, use the hashtag Summer at PGCMLS to let us know that you're here, that you're having fun on social media, please. And as Madam County Executive Alsor-Brooks stated, Josh Harrison unfortunately couldn't be here in person given the doubleheader that is happening today. The rain out on Thursday caused that doubleheader. But he was very kind enough to agree to join us on the big screen. And in just a couple of moments here, you're going to see Josh Harrison on screen. And he's going to share a very special story with us. And then after the story, we'll be back up here on stage for a Q&A. And you'll all have a chance to ask a couple questions, too, of Roberta Phillips, CEO of the library, and the county executive. So eyes up there, have fun, and we'll see you again in a second.
Hi, this is Josh Harrison of the Washington Nationals. I have my daughters Mia and Kinsley with me. We wish we could have been there with you today, but we have some games to make up, so we're going to read this book to you. It's called Catching the Moon, The Story of a Young Girl's Baseball Dream by Crystal Hubbard, illustrated by Randy DuBurke. Marcinia Lyle loved baseball. She loved the powdery taste of dust clouds as she slid through them. She loved the way the sun heated her hair as she crouched in the outfield, waiting for fly balls. And she loved the sting in her palm as a baseball slammed into it, right before tagging a runner out. If there was anything in the world better than baseball, Marcinia didn't know what it was. She dreamed of growing up to be a professional ball player so she could play all the time. I wish I knew why you liked baseball so much, Mama sighed as she gently washed Marcinia's hair. Marcinia shrugged. Mama often questioned Marcinia's interest in baseball, particularly when washing field dirt from her hair. It's just fun, Marcinia said, giving her mother the same response she always did. Playing dolls is fun, Mama said. Marcinia blew a puff of lather from her palm. Not as much fun as baseball. After Marcinia crawled into bed, Papa appeared in the doorway. What did you learn in school today? He asked. Marcinia thought for a moment. Some history? Papa crossed his arms. And how did your team do in the game after school? Harold got a triple in his first at-bat, and Clarence tagged out 2 runners, Marcinia said eagerly. I struck out my first time at bat, but then I caught a deep fly ball that would have scored the tying run for the other team if I'd missed it. We won 11-10. Marcinia's smile gleamed like the noonday sun as she shared the details of her victory. We won the game, Marcinia said once more. And you also ripped another dress, Papa said, dismayed. Then he kissed Marcinia's cheek and turned off the light, leaving her alone with the moonlight and shadows and her dream of becoming a baseball player. The tiny house was still. Marcinia could almost hear her mother's needle and thread moving through the fabric as she sat at the kitchen table, mending Marcinia's dress. After a while, Marcinia heard Papa's voice. I wish she would think about school as much as she thinks on baseball. She wants to be a ball player when she grows up, Mama said with a sad chuckle. I just want her to be happy. She'll be what every other girl in this neighborhood will be, Papa grumbled. A teacher, a nurse, or a maid, Mama said softly. I'm going to score 3 runs tomorrow, Marcinia promised the darkness as she clapped her hands over her ears. I'm going to hit a home run, too. The next day after school, Marcinia went to the playground. The other girls stayed on the hardtop to play hopscotch, jump rope, or jacks. The boys were huddled at the mound, talking quietly. They cast excited glances at a man who was watching the field from the bleachers. Do you know who he is? Harold asked Marcinia as she joined the group. He tipped his head toward the man. That there is Mr. Gabby Street. He's running a baseball day camp this summer. Marcinia knew about Gabby Street. He was the manager for the St. Louis Cardinals. He had led his Cardinals to the National League pennant in 1930, and the Cardinals had topped that the next year by winning the 1931 World Series. What's he want? Marcinia asked. Kids for his baseball camp, Harold said. It's going to be right here on this field every day except Sunday. Sundays are game days. What's it cost? Marcinia asked. It's free, said Clarence. All you need is your own glove and baseball cleats, Harold added. Marcinia could hardly contain her excitement. She would do anything to be one of the players in Mr. Street's camp. That afternoon, Marcinia played with a purpose. She scooped grounders, catching them into her body to make sure they didn't bounce away. She slid into second, keeping low so she wouldn't be tagged. She kept her eyes on each pitch, waiting for a good one to send over the fence. She scored 3 runs and hit a homer. When Mr. Street approached the players after the game, Marcinia crowded in close so he could see her. I just saw some good ball, Mr. Street said, smiling. Who wants to come to my baseball camp and really learn to play this game? Every hand went up. Mr. Street shook them all. He shook Marcinia's hand last. You've got a good arm, little miss, and you run fast, he said. But I don't take girls in my camp. Marcinia looked down so no one would see her disappointment. She began striking dust from her dress. Marcinia's been playing ball with us since we were little kids, Harold told Mr. Street. She's the only player we got who ever steals bases, Clarence said. Marcinia was pleased that her friends had come to her defense, but Mr. Street didn't change his mind. As she walked home, she thought about how these very same boys had teased her when she first started playing baseball with them. Then when they saw she could run, hit, and throw as well as they could, the teasing stopped. They had let her play. Marcinia decided to give Mr. Street a reason to change his mind. Every day, Marcinia played baseball, and every day, Mr. Street refused to invite her to his camp. Then came a day when Marcinia got tired of hearing him say, I don't take girls in my camp. That day, when she was on third base in the 9th inning of a tie game, Marcinia decided to take the biggest chance in all baseball. She decided to steal home. When the pitcher drew his arm to throw the ball to Harold, Marcinia launched into motion. The catcher snared the pitch in his glove and ran toward Marcinia to tag her out. Marcinia doubled back toward third. When the catcher threw the ball back to the third baseman, Marcinia turned and bolted toward home plate. As the ball sailed above her head, Marcinia pumped her arms and knees harder. With the ball speeding toward home, Marcinia dropped her weight and slid into home plate. She had stolen home and scored the winning run. While her teammates celebrated their victory, Marcinia planted her hands on her hips and faced Mr. Street. I am a baseball player, she said. I want to learn to play this game as well as I can. May I come to your camp? Well, little miss, if you can steal home, you can probably do anything you set your mind to, Mr. Street said. You can come to my camp as long as you have your equipment. When Marcinia told her parents the good news about the camp that evening, her father was not pleased. "I don't like you acting like such a tomboy," he said with a snap of his evening paper. "Besides, you know we don't have money to spend on—" "The camp's free," Marcinia said, excited. "Equipment isn't free," Papa said. "I have a glove," Marcinia said. "Harold gave me his old one." "You'll need cleats, and we don't have money for those," Papa added. "So unless you're prepared to get them yourself, I think you'll have to forget about that camp." With another snap of Papa's newspaper, Marcinia felt her dream move out of reach. Mr. Street was at the field the next time Marcinia played. Before the game, she mustered all her strength to keep from crying. "Mr. Street," she said, "I can't come to your camp. I don't have cleats, and my father says we can't afford them, but thank you for inviting me." Although she was sad, Marcinia played as well as she always had. She loved baseball too much not to play with all her heart. That night, unable to sleep, Marcinia gazed through her window at the full moon glowing in the sky. It was so round and bright, like a brand new baseball. She reached to the floor and took up her baseball glove. She put it on and punched the pocket as if the moon would drop into it like so many fly balls had before. Marcinia wondered sadly if Papa was right. Maybe girls didn't grow up to be ball players after all. But playing baseball was her dream, and Marcinia couldn't imagine doing anything else. The next day after school, Marcinia was the first one at the playing field. Mr. Street was already there, and he waved Marcinia over. "You're a good ball player, Marcinia," he said. "I want good ball players for my camp." He handed Marcinia a box, and he watched as she opened it. Her eyes widened as she pulled out a shoe with each hand. These weren't just any shoes, they were real baseball cleats. "Thank you, Mr. Street." Marcinia was so excited she could barely squeeze out the words. She hugged the shoes to her chest. They were even better than stealing home. "Don't you have a game to play?" Mr. Street said, nodding toward the field. "Yes, I do," Marcinia replied happily. Her fingers flew as they unbuckled her street shoes and laced on her new cleats. They fit perfectly. She ran in them, she jumped in them, she caught and slid in them, and she hit a home run in them. After the game, the boys rushed to Mr. Street, talking over one another about the game. Marcinia lingered at home plate. She stared at her feet, proud of the new scuffs and smudges on her shoes. They had been a little stiff at first, but now that she had played a good game of baseball in them, the cleats were exactly the way she wanted them to be. Mr. Street excused himself from the crowd of boys. "I look forward to seeing you in camp," he said to Marcinia. She gave him a hopeful smile, but Marcinia knew she still had one more person to convince before she could officially accept Mr. Street's invitation. She ran home and waited anxiously for her father to return from work. As soon as her father arrived, Marcinia showed him her new cleats. "Now, Marcinia, where did you get these shoes?" Papa asked sternly. "Mr. Street gave them to me," Marcinia said. "He wants me to come to his baseball camp." Papa looked down at Marcinia's baseball cleats, which were already scuffed and dusted with field dirt. "You must be a pretty good ball player for an important man like Mr. Street to buy you those shoes," he admitted. Then he smiled. "You know I don't like charity, but I reckon we can't give those shoes back in this state. I'll have to thank Mr. Street for his generosity when I take you down to that baseball camp." Marcinia could hardly believe her ears. Papa had agreed. Her chest filled with joy, and she threw her arms around her father, hugging him hard. "You'll see how good I am," she cried. Marcinia felt as proud and happy as if she had reached right up in the sky and caught the moon in her glove. She was on her way to becoming a real baseball player. She would make her dream come true. The end.
Awesome. How about another round of applause for Josh Harrison and his two beautiful girls? Very cool. How many of you love that story? Show of hands. Had anyone read it before? Oh, some of you, awesome, very cool. Well, that book, along with many other books about baseball and good stories for kids, are available at the library, online, and at our branches, of course. So at this time, I'm going to welcome up County Executive Alston Brooks and Roberta Phillips, CEO of the library. We're going to have a quick Q&A with both of them, and feel free, ladies, to grab either of the seats here, and I'll bring a mic over. While they're getting settled, just want to remind you all to pick up an activity bag at the library table and pick up some of the swag that's inside. We have adult sunglasses from the library. We have kids sunglasses from the Nationals. A+ to all of you kids who are wearing their sunglasses already. Protecting your eyes, a very important thing. We have cold drink koozies for anyone in the family. We have Tails and Tails hand sanitizer because it is COVID life and we need to hand sanitize, right? Wash those hands 20 seconds, soap and water, or hand sanitize if there's no sink. And again, reminder, please consider getting your COVID-19 vaccine. We have 2 types available. Johnson & Johnson, 1 and done. Pfizer, 18 and plus. Oh, sorry, excuse me, wrong, false, not good. Bad librarian. Pfizer is 12 and up. Pfizer, 12 and up. And Johnson & Johnson, 18 plus. Okay. Let me get microphones here.
Before we start the questions, I have to say, Roberta, look how cool these kids look in their glasses. I
know.
like the glasses. The glasses are so cool.
And there's
Reading.
Oh, it's back.
there's a couple of young men who've been reading the whole time, which makes me happy.
Oh, wow.
Go, guys.
That is great.
There
We have
they
some big
are.
readers
Good
in the
job.
house, too. Great job.
So, while we start chatting here, kids, want to invite you to start thinking of your questions, and in just a few minutes, we're going to have open mic here for a couple kids to come ask a question. And before we do that, would love to ask both our county executive and Ms. Phillips, what were some of the really cool lessons that you took away from that really special story?
Well, one thing I took away is girls can do anything.
Yes.
Yeah, come
Yes.
on, girls. You hearing me?
Here for
All
the girls.
right. And also, baseball's a team sport, and you can have a lot of fun playing with the team.
And you know what? I think you should never, ever, if other people doubt you, you never lose confidence. You should always believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, everything is possible. So I want you to remember that, is that you can do anything you set your mind to. And one other thing that I thought about, Roberta, is that all of us are born with special gifts. And that you'll know, I believe fairly early on, the thing that is special about you. And you should never be turned away from your special gift. You have something special.
Wonderful. Now, I know that both of you are big readers, and I would love to know who inspired your love of reading, or what inspired your love of reading.
When I was in the 4th grade, I entered a book reading contest, and I won the contest. And I was so excited to win the contest because I had read so many books. And my favorite children's book is actually Harold and the Purple Crayon. Does anyone know Harold and the Purple Crayon? That is my favorite book. You do too? Awesome.
And you know, when I was a kid, my parents used to take me to the library. And similar to what I see today, they'd give you a special tote bag. And I remember how excited I would be to go there and fill that bag up with books, go home and read the books. And my father in particular would always talk with us about what we read, and it encouraged it. And him, and also I had some good teachers in school who introduced me to some books that changed my life. So I've always enjoyed reading.
Yes, thank you.
So here's a question of the moment. This coming Saturday, we celebrate and we commemorate a very important holiday in our county and in our country, which is Juneteenth, next Saturday. And here in our county, we're observing that as an official holiday. Madam County Executive, could you tell the families a bit about why that's important for us to recognize as a community?
Yeah, so Juneteenth is when we recognize essentially the freedom that African Americans have as Americans. And it is very important as we recognize that one of the bedrock principles of America is freedom for all. And so having African Americans be able to enjoy freedoms as citizens is really, really important. And it is something that we should all celebrate.
Absolutely. So the library will be closed on Juneteenth so that you can celebrate in other ways with the county and with your families.
We have a really cool new website called pgcmls.info/Juneteenth where there are resources for every age. You can watch videos, look at some really cool books. We have also programs every day in the next 2 weeks. Programs for kids. You can learn about the culinary history of the Black community in the United States and how that has informed all American cuisine. A lot of cool programs going on, so check those out in the next 2 weeks. Thank you for your answers on that, both of you. How do you hope children and students in the county take advantage of this summer to, one, have fun, because we need it after the last 18 months, but also to make sure that we still can learn while having fun?
Well, I think going to the library is a perfect way to learn and have fun at the same time. Also, just reading at different places, reading outside, having a picnic with books, exploring nature, and really thinking about, like Ms. Osberg said, what are you interested in, and learning all about it. That's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree that reading transports you. One of the things that I experienced as a reader, and I'm watching it in my daughter as well, is reading carries you all around the world. So read books of interest to you. Try to read about some subjects you don't know about. But reading is really, it really just opens up the whole world to you. And so I hope that everyone will take time this summer to read some fun books and to read to each other, to read as a family, to sit down together and enjoy some stories is always a lot of fun.
Awesome. So for my last question, then we're going to go to a couple of our young audience members. We're going to have an upper age limit of like 6 on who can ask a question. So no adults getting in there, sorry. What does being Prince George's proud mean to you?
Oh, that's so good. I don't live far from here in Brandywine. And for me, being Prince George's proud is going into the community and having fun and exploring all of the things that there are to do in the community, because there are so many things and so many new things happening.
Yes.
So we're really excited. And of course, there's libraries all through the county, so that's always fun for me to do as well.
So Prince George is proud. I have lived in Prince George's County my entire life, and especially I say to our children that greatness grows in Prince George's County. Prince George's County produces amazing people who contribute so much to our community. And so we're so proud of who we are as a community. We regard ourselves as one big family here, but we are proud of each other. We're proud of what we've accomplished together, and we are proud of these kids who are here today, because we know that the future is really bright for you all as well. But we're really proud of who we are as people.
Awesome, thank you. So who is my volunteer from the audience who would like to ask a question? Oh, there you go. Young man right there. Come on up. If you don't mind coming up to the stage, we'll give you a microphone. We just need you to hop up.
Applause. Let's clap for him.
What's your name? Face them.
Francesco.
Francesco, that's a really cool name. Are you a Giants fan or are you a Nationals fan?
National fan.
Nationals fan. Round of applause for the Nationals fan. What is your question?
My question is, where are you? When are they starting to make the new activity book, the one with the pigeon inside it?
Oh, the pigeon. That sounds like Mo Willems, right? Pigeon. Yes, we got to come up with one. So let me say to you that you can go over to our table and our friendly library staff over there. You see Miss Lauren waving. Oh, what? Miss Mulaney. They're going to make sure that you know how to get those pigeon
Let's
books.
have another round of applause.
Yes, round of applause for Francesco. Thank you.
That was a great question.
Young man, would you like to come on up, do a question from the front? Come on up.
Come on up. Give him a round of applause.
Round of applause. What's your name? Oriofe. Awesome. You want to turn around and face the crowd? Can you say your name again?
Oriofe. My name is Oriofe.
Awesome. Round of applause for Oriofe for being brave. Come on up. Can you wave to Miss Roberta and Miss Alser Brooks? Now, what is your question?
My question is that I live near Upper Marlboro, and the nearest library hasn't opened. Do you know when it's going to open up?
Does the crowd know when it's going to open? It's coming up real soon.
Monday, June 14th.
Monday, June 14th. Awesome. 10 o'clock in the morning. Does that make you happy?
Yes, that makes me happy. I really like reading books, and I always go to the library to pick out my books.
You sound like me when I was your age. That's awesome. I love the library.
We get something like 5 or 10 books.
Did you know you can pick up to like 50 or more?
I did not know that.
Well, that's what you do in the summer. That's what I used to do. Go and get as many books as you can get, take them home, and then just sit and read all day long. And you're going to have Nationals tickets by the end of next weekend at that rate, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay,
Can
thank
wave
you.
to Miss Alsterbrooks and Miss Roberta.
Oh, we're proud of you.
Yes. A+. Are you all his family? Awesome. Thank
Good
you for
job,
joining
Mom.
us. Young lady back there, you want to come on up? Come on up from the third row. Coming up. Thanks, Miss Mulaney. Miss Mulaney is our area manager for the South area for the library, which includes the Oxon Hill branch, Accokeek, and come on up. I love your dress. Look at those butterflies. We have a library with a big butterfly in it now. Come on up. Come on up. You want to turn around and face your family? What's your name? Say it a little louder. What was it? Bjorna. Bjorna. Round of applause for Bjorna. What's your question? Ooh, why do foxes live in the forest? Do either of you know the answer to that one?
I'm going to let Roberta answer that. That takes a librarian to explain that one.
So foxes live in the forest because that's their home, and that's where they make a den and have their babies and live, and they hunt for food in the forest, and they also hide in the forest. You can't hardly see them, can you? No? All right.
Great job, Lorna.
Thank you, Bjorna. Awesome, thank you, Miss Mulaney. Well, this has been a treat. Thank you all. Oh, one last question, because you are eager. Come on up.
And he's
Orange
a good
shirt.
reader. Come on up.
This has been so much fun, and we're really excited for all of you to be spending the summer with us. We're going to have a very special round of outdoor events on Saturday, June 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. at all of our library branches that are open. Visit our website, pgcms.info/summer at your library to learn more about that. What is your name, sir?
John Luke.
John Luke. Awesome. Can you say hi to Miss Alsterbrooks and Miss Roberta back here?
Hi, John Luke.
Cool. What is your question?
What's your favorite book?
Ah, the best question of all. What are your favorite books? See what they say?
Well, my favorite book is Harold and the Purple Crayon. Do you know that book? He uses his crayon and he draws and he uses his imagination through the whole book, and you can get it at the library. That's a good one.
I think I'd say mine. I have two. Their Eyes Are Watching God is one, and then there is an author named J. California Cooper. And I'd probably say In Search of Satisfaction. Great books.
Awesome.
Can I tell you my favorite book from when I was a little guy? It was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because that was like so magical, and who doesn't like chocolate, right? Uh-huh.
My favorite book is I have my own book. It's my own book. It has my name on it, but I don't know what it's called. Yeah, and what's your favorite sports?
Oh, well, we're here with the Nationals today, so baseball, obviously, right, everyone? But we love all sports. We love all sports, especially the teams that come out and support us here in our home community, right? Awesome. Let's give it up. Thank you. Oh, one more. We got one more. Come on up. Great job, John Luke. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Micah.
Cool. Do you want to stand up? Face them? Cool. Wait.
Hey, Micah.
Hey, Micah. Positivity is all you need. We
Yes.
love that shirt.
Look at that shirt. What is your question?
I was wondering, can I volunteer at the library for student hours for high school?
Oh my goodness, you're hired. We
Yeah.
love working with our teens here in the county, and the library system is the best place to do your service hours because you can do any number of things. And our friend back there, his name is Isaiah, who's going to wave at you, is actually the head of our teen services team, and he works with wonderful folks like the Oxon Hill branch team to make sure that there's opportunities. And in this past year, let me tell you what our teens have been doing and how awesome they are. They've been learning how to do graphic design and put together graphics for Instagram so that we can celebrate the holidays and celebrate our community. They're doing technology, they're doing social justice work. We are the place where you can come and get creative with your service hours. So that is a great question. High five.
Great question.
What grade are you in?
I'm going to 6.
Ooh, that's a big change, right? 6th grade? Awesome. Good for you. Well,
Great
you have
job,
a good
Micah.
summer. Cool. Well, thank you so much, everyone. You've been a wonderful crowd, and thank you to the Washington Nationals for helping make this possible. Thank you to Alex. Thank you to Screech.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes, thank you to Josh Harrison and his 2 beautiful girls for sharing that story with us. Please, please, please make sure that all of you consider the COVID-19 vaccine that is available right here, Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer. Let your friends know that the clinic is here. They're going to be here into the early afternoon. And before we depart, I want to just remind everyone that we are celebrating LGBTQ plus Pride Month. And it's having a wonderful celebration here in Prince George's County month-long, including with the county government. Here at National Harbor on the 26th, there's going to be a big event right at this very space. And we've got programs for all ages. And that vehicle back there that you see called the Curiosity Cube that happens to have eyelashes. Have you seen a car with eyelashes before? Isn't that cool? That's y'all are progressive with the cars. That's cool. So we're going to have that car in our nation's capital in the Pride Mobile Parade today, representing all of us here in Prince George's County. So check us out. Check us out on social media at PGCMLS. Thank you, Madam County Executive. We appreciate you and your support and your team. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roberta. Any last words? Go Nats. Yeah, or Baby Shark. Do you still want to do Baby Shark? Cool. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.